Ben, let me just say one more thing.
Okay.
The people that I know, the wealthiest families in the world, they're like these New York City families where you ask them, where'd your money come from? And they're like, oh, my great grandfather, he bought like 4 city blocks in Manhattan. And they're like, did you ever sell that? It's like, no, we still own it. They own it for 100 years.
Yes.
If you have really good property, like if you owned a block on Central Park in Manhattan, do you think there's any year in the last 100 years it would have been a good idea to sell it, pay capital gains tax, and buy something else? So what they do is they hold it for 100 years.
Yeah.
And as people print more dollars, the value of the property goes up at the rate that the Federal Reserve prints dollars. And then every 5 years, they refinance it and they borrow more money against it.
Yeah.
So if you borrow against an asset that's appreciating in value, you don't pay capital gains tax. And then the money you borrow, you can live off of, and you don't pay income tax on it. So if you have the world's perfect, if you own a city block in cyberspace that's good for the next 100 years, that's Bitcoin, right? A Bitcoin is a city block in cyberspace. If you own that, and if I told you 1 billion people are coming to that city and they're all going to need to buy their own block, and you own the right property, it's the Manhattan of cyberspace. Why don't you just keep it in the family for 100 years, and the next time you feel you need some money, well, you go borrow money against your Bitcoin. There's no capital gains tax. There's no income tax. If Bitcoin was going up 100% a year, you're getting paid 100% tax-free interest, and you're going to pay 5% interest to borrow the money. It's a 95% difference, right? So you don't want to sell because you get tagged for the taxes, and then you stop generating the yield on the property. Really wealthy families, they just keep the assets forever and they just finance them. That's what they do.
Oh.